Hello and welcome to this special edition of ET Now, of News Now. I'm Ruchi Bhatia. We've got a very special interaction lined up on the show for you. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar joining us on this leg of the broadcast. Hi sir, good evening. This is Ruchi Bhatia. I hope you, your family and your staff is keeping well and safe during these times. You're joining us right after the Prime Minister announcing the 20 lakh crore rupee economic stimulus for the country. I want to ask you and basically play the devil's advocate as well. Your critics say that this will not do anything to create enough demand in the economy. All these measures are mostly monetary measures, are liquidity measures, some sort of fiscal support, or the fact that money should be put in the hands of people. That still hasn't happened.
I don't subscribe to their criticism because that is not factually correct. Wherever you put money into Indian economy, it starts rolling, and when the velocity increases, it makes the impact on economy overall, and therefore all money will regenerate more demand. That is the basis of our package.
Right. You know, the kind of reforms, sir, that we did see today, the Finance Minister announcing a whole host of changes and amendments to the Essential Commodities Act, 3 big agriculture-related reforms as well. However, if you see, the government has stopped short of making any sort of announcement or further, putting money for PM Kisan. Neither anything has been done with respect to increasing the MSP for more crops. This was a long-standing demand for a lot of states as well. Why has the government in fact done that, while they have said that they have a long-term vision, they have an intent for doubling farmers' income?
See, first I will speak my first comment about 3 very big reforms. Farmers were always demanding that they should be free from the clutches of one single agency where they had to market their product. They wanted freedom. That freedom is granted, so they can sell to anybody whom they want. Second is, they also wanted the better price. The whole farmer agitation was about remunerative prices, and how remunerative prices can be assured. Whoever are the buyers, if buyers will discuss with the farmer, and if farmer is okay with somebody, he has now the right and choice to go to him and get right price. So it is the right for right price. And Tisra, in Essential Commodities Act, the amendment which will be moving is really making him free. The Essential Commodities Act was the product of scarcity of food products. Now there is no scarcity. So putting up unnecessary restrictions on farmers when there is a good demand elsewhere in the outside the country, that export limitations should not be there, and stock limitations also should not be there. That is why this amendment, these are the 3 revolutionary steps which have been announced today. Those who understand agriculture economy understand the importance of it. More importantly, you have asked me why you are not giving handouts. We have already given in one family, 10 crore families, 2,000 rupees for Kisan Samman Nidhi, 1,500 rupees in their Jan Dhan account of the lady of the house, 2,400 rupees worth of 3 gas cylinders free of cost. Senior citizens have got 1,000 rupees, and states have given them 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 rupees. So all put together, these vulnerable 10 crore people have got money more than what opposition is demanding.
All right. So the Prime Minister's call has also been for becoming very vocal on going local as well. However, the big concern and something that the industry also raises is the fact that until and unless you reduce the cost of capital and you bite the bullet on critical reforms like land and labor, much of it will not really move. What is the game plan now for the government in terms of these, critical reforms as well? The Prime Minister has said that the opportunity for reforms is now. What is it that we can hear from the government in the days to come?
I think today you have heard 3 big reforms in agriculture. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow you will listen more, and hopefully on the fields which you are interested in. So let us wait for 24 hours.
Okay, are you giving us a cue, sir, that we will see something on labor reforms as well in the next 2 days by the Finance Minister?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because Prime Minister in his Atmanirbhar speech also has emphasized that his whole speech has labor reforms, legal reforms, land reforms, and technology-driven reforms. So all these put together, he wants to bring in the next stage of reforms.
Sir, the Prime Minister did say that lockdown 4 now will be very different from the first and the second lockdown that we've seen. We will see more areas opening up. You had various meetings with the states as well. Help us understand in terms of the big demand from states on opening up public transport as well as opening up the skies as well, the aviation sector as well. What is it that the government's own thinking is? What is it that we can see over the next few days? And most importantly, how critical will the opening up of the services sector be from here on, given the fact that because of the 50-day lockdown, they have been in a lot of pain?
See, as far as green zones are concerned, that is nearly 400 districts. It is practically now 24/7 good, not 24/7, 12 hours. All good economic activities are conducted. Industries have also started or are starting. And second is, in orange zone, despite containment zone, there will be much freedom. And in the red zone, yes, it's a small area of worry where state governments and the local administration will finally put down the conditions locally which will be applicable. But the government of India's direction is progressive opening.
So you're talking about progressive opening. Does that mean that even the government will look at perhaps re-looking at the whole definition of red zones in itself? Because the industry chambers have reached out to the government and they have said that there is a need to re-look at the red zones as well and perhaps isolate the containment areas. Is that something that the government is actively considering?
No, actually, Mr. Harshavardhan, the Health Ministry is capable to answer these because these are final niceties where the Health Ministry only knows what criteria they are deciding.
Sir, and my last question to you before I let you go. The Prime Minister did make a call for Atmanirbhar Bharat, but at a time like this when, global economies themselves are struggling with a response to coronavirus, do you see the world and perhaps India becoming more protectionist in the days to come?
No, this is not about protectionism. He has made it very clear that we don't want to be isolationist. We don't want to be protectionist to that extent where we don't want anything. We actually want to engage with the world more. Today our imports are more and exports are less. We want to improve our exports. And as far as Indian demand is concerned, more and more production should be from India, make in India, and that is what means that less dependence on foreign, so reducing the imports, improving the export is the theme which Prime Minister has put before the nation.
Sir, and before I let you go, and this is going to be my last question, can we completely give up the hope that there will be any cash handouts for any sections of the society in the days to come? And I'm asking because, on the fisc, the government has has given a lot of consideration as well, given the fact that the rating agencies may also come down very heavily on the government. So can one completely give up the hope that there will be any cash handouts as a part of the government's next set of announcements?
Already for the 10 crore poor people, cash handouts have been given, as I explained. As far as industry is concerned, their main problem was to create demand again, and an infrastructure and many other enabling provisions which government is already doing. And as far as final industrial package, you will have to wait for a few hours more.
For the industrial package, can we expect the government to announce some tax breaks as well? This is being widely anticipated. I know the government last year announced a mega corporate tax cut, as well for the industries, but perhaps the need of the economy is very different at this point of time. How important and how, where in the pecking order does a tax break for the industry is at this point of time, sir?
India is the probably only country with 15% tax rates. So that is the best position we could have taken any time, and that Modi ji has already taken when there was no COVID. And now we are definitely helping each section as per the requirement of the section. Every time cash handout is not the only way. There are more meaningful ways to come out of it. And as I said, final things already in MSME sectors, 3,70,000 crore have been pumped in. That is what you can say. Cash handout, if somebody defines it as a just donation or dole out, that is not the correct way to do. You have to do something and get something. That's the best possible policy.
All right, on that note, sir, many thanks for taking your time out and speaking to us at ET Now. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. That was Union Minister Prakash Javadekar in conversation with ET Now. We take a short break on that note and come back with more news stories and important conversations on the other side.